and I'm pretty concerned about my mistake I made. This is not good. This is not good. We might have a problem. Shoot. Still got quite a bit to do. Give you a quick sneak peek. You know, you build these things, you never really know how they're gonna shake down, settle out, all that good jazz. So it's just not one thing. You gotta undo 14 things. But I'm not complaining. It just is what it is. I've thought about it and I've kind of come up with somewhat of a solution. You ever lay in bed and wonder, after working on something for 2 years nearly, if you made a mistake? And I'm pretty concerned about my mistake I made. And I've got to get things ready because things are about to happen. And one of my biggest concerns is that ball right there, how high it is compared to the ball on the square body. The square body's getting close, and I'm curious about the height difference, that ball right there. And the reason I bought the camper that we're in, Frankie, is because we could pull on the gooseneck, which I kind of didn't know this was coming, but I knew it was coming. I knew, you know, who knows what you get into, and I always like to be 2 or 3 steps ahead. So what I got to do is do some measuring. So hold on 1 second here. So right here is basically the bottom of the bed, and I got to figure out how tall. Find a place where I feel like I can hit going straight down. That feels pretty decent there. So 37, 36, we'll go 36 and a half to the bottom of the bed. And then we got to go from the bottom of the bed to the top of the ball. Let's see what we got here. What do you think? I'm gonna call that 5.5. So 5.5, 43 inches from the ground to the top of that ball. And so let's go measure it in new truck. I think it's lower. So what do we say? 37.5 with 43 inches to the top of the ball. So, you know, the ideal is when you pull your camper, you want to pull your camper as level as possible. And so, yeah, let's see what we get here. The cool part about this new truck is I don't need a step to get in it. Also, with this big hole being in the floor, makes it nice. Yeah, all right. This is not good. This is not good. 34, 33 and a half the top of that plate, plus another 5 inches. We might have a problem. Shoot. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna figure it out. I will say, while I'm figuring out my new problem, I'll give you a quick sneak peek. Still got quite a bit to do. Give you a quick sneak peek. The engine's in, you know, paint's done. We got a little bit of work to do on tailgate. Interior's in, that's all I'm gonna give you for now. Got the marker lights in, all LEDs. Still got to bed coat this. I'm a little mad at myself about that because I am off nearly 4 inches. And I got to figure out how to make that 4 inches up somewhere. Got any suggestions? Put in the comments. Tell me what you would do. It's not, you know, you build these things, you never really know how they're gonna shake down, settle out, all that good jazz. So I got some figuring to do. Well, we'll pick this back up at the house when I'm maybe doing a little more thinking that I might feel like I have an idea, but right now I'm stumped. I don't know, this sucks. All right guys, so I've slept, I've thought about it, and I've kind of come up with somewhat of a solution. So hooking the square body and to this camper and hooking this truck to this camper, I've kind of made up in my mind there's no way that I'm gonna get them both to be perfect. So we're just gonna shoot for the middle. So as you saw when I was up there measuring on this truck and on the white square body, this ball is 4 inches taller. So my solution was I went to eTrailer and got on their website and I ordered me a new ball. And this is part of the solution. So this is a Kurt set that I got from them. And if you look, let me grab this one out of the back of the truck. I went initially with the B&W just because of how easy it is to take in and out, and you don't have to fondle your balls and get your hands greasy. And so so I like the handle, you know, that way when my balls are dirty I don't get it all over my hands. So I like the B&W. I've always been a huge B&W fan. You guys have seen me run the B&W companion hitch and the B&W stuff. It's just because we've had it on the farm for years and it just works, and it's made in the US. And I'm not sure where this Kurt stuff is made at, but I'm gonna guess probably some Asian country. But if you look at this ball set, I got dirty balls and I got shiny balls. Sorry. You can see how much smaller my new balls are. This ball is about 4 inches tall. That's it. Where this ball is probably about 5 3/4 tall. Turns out they are way shorter. And so that's gonna let me set a holes down essentially 2 inches. And so now with this ball from E-Trailer, moving that set of holes, I'm gonna be like 2 inches from the old square body. So I guess at this point, the only thing left to do is move that hitch and change out that puck system. I've never used a Kurt, and honestly, I'm sure it's fine. It seems pretty simple and straightforward, pretty easy. You just move this ball, and then you turn it, and you see your little thingies go in, and then when you want to hook it back up, you just pull it down, and then you're in tow mode. I've never used a Kurt ball before. I've always liked B&W stuff because growing up on a farm, it's like Dexter axles and B&W stuff. We had it on the farm forever, so I just like using stuff that, you know, that took that abuse for all those years and never had any issue out of it. So I'm gonna change this ball, let this down, and the big thing is, the reason I'm doing all this is the other truck's lowered so much, it's changed the geometry of everything, and I want to be able to hook this camper to this truck and pull it and keep the camper fairly level, or if I got it to the square body and I'm pulling it with it, that it's also fairly level, and I'm not trying to move things around. So I'm trying to find like that happy median thing. I'll be honest with you, when I got to looking, and like I say, thank God, you know, E-Trailer has a great website, check them out, and that's where I got this stuff at. But when I got to looking at this ball, I'm like, it's got to be so much shorter than what the B&W is. You know, sometimes you take on these projects, and Valerie and I talk about it on the house all the time, it's like, it's just not one thing. You got to undo 14 things. So, but I'm not complaining. It just is what it is. So I'm gonna swap this Kurt system out real quick, which will take 2 seconds. And I'll let you watch me do that. And then we're gonna raise the front of this camper up, and then I'll look for a piece of cardboard and set that hitch down on that cardboard, and then we'll move these things around and get it torqued back down. Fortunately for me, I've done this enough that I actually know what the torque specs are on my hitch, because this will be the 3rd time I've done this. Let's get to it. Changing these balls out is so simple. It's literally, you drop it in, you turn it, you're done, and it won't pick up. They're a little loose, and the B&W was that way. That bugs me because you can hear it kind of, I don't know, it was noisy. The B&W was that noisy. And then on to take out the B&W chain, safety chain deals, these are pretty easy. You just turn them, pick them up, you just drop them in, turn them, put that pin in, and you're done. That's all. That's it. So I'm wondering if they're easier to clamp on with my safety chains. Clamping them on with the safety chains, that's like $1 million, or not $1 million thing. It's a pain with the B&Ws because I'm just short enough that I can't really reach them all that great, and so, you know, it just kind of sucks. But that is a Jarrett problem, not a Kurt or a B&W problem. And honestly, guys, I just swapped out my Kurt hitch one-handed in the time it took me to do that. So pretty easy peasy. Some of you are asking, well, why don't you just move your hitch? Well, I pulled this trailer with a hitch like that for a while, and honestly, it worked fine. But I try to keep my trailers, you want to pull them as level as possible. And so when I pulled it like that, I just wasn't level, not level enough to suit me. So it's all like these gives and takes, if you will. I'm gonna move this guy here back down a set of holes. And so initially I had it in the bottom set of holes, so I had this hitch pop down one set, and then I swapped it out when I went with the dually because I noticed it was setting a little nose high. and I like to pull my camper as level as possible, but so when we go in with a shorter ball in this truck, I can drop this a set of holes, because these holes are like, they're literally 2 inches apart. So in moving that down a set and going with a shorter ball, I'm going to have my camper in a pretty good spot to pull it behind both trucks. And really that's what we wanted. Now, I don't think that we'll pull this camper a lot with the old truck, the new old truck, but we're going to pull it some. And a matter of fact, if you're going to the farm, you'll see it there on its maiden voyage with the camper, if all goes well. So, you know, still a lot's got to happen in the next 30 days. But that's the plan. I got to get this thing moved. I'm not going to show you doing that. If you want to see me moving this hitch, check out this video right here. It's me putting the Gen Y hitch on. Same process. But big shout out to E-Trailer for sending me a new ball system. And I got work to do. It's getting late, and I'm going camping with the base camp members tomorrow. So let's get after it.